So let's talk about ghost cam tuning. Gen 3, Gen 4 Chevys, GM, whatever you want to call it. A single cam engine, overhead valve, whatever you want to call it. They have a single cam profile, and as the cam lopes up and down, up and down, up and down, the computer's fighting it with timing so that it stays smooth. So unlike Mustangs and things like that, where it's actually a ghost cam, this isn't the same thing. So your overspeed and underspeed are corrections for basically the idle for the camshaft. So the larger these numbers are, the more the cam is going to move up and down or create a lope sound. So most vehicles, I just put -35 here, and then I do 35 here. Now this is a Gen 3, so you only have an underspeed and overspeed table. Now you can move these numbers up or down to get the desired sound that you're looking for, but on a lot of vehicles you're going to need to come to idle, and you're going to have to increase the idle RPM to prevent it from dying if you go too high. And then one of the other things that you may have to do is you may have to go to your base airflow and increase this slightly, because otherwise you'll have undesired effects where the vehicle might die at stoplights or might die when it's idling. So that's Gen 3, super simple. Gen 4, similar, park neutral, gear, coast. So I do the same thing here. I just would do -35 and park neutral. I do the same thing in gear. That way when you get your foot on the brake in gear at an intersection, you still get that lope so you can show off. Coast, I typically leave alone. Underspeed, I do the exact same thing. I go +35. Gear, also +35. Though, something to be wary of, I didn't realize this was a tune file, but I make these, the zeros actual zero. I don't like to have timing inside these boxes here, so don't pay attention to that. This is just a Camaro that we did for a guy a while back, and to be honest, I could have won a lot more on his, and I didn't realize I didn't. So next time he comes in, we might make it lope a little bit harder. But same thing, you want to go to idle, RPM. You can see this car is set to 800. Most Camaros and things like that are going to be down in the 500 marks. The base idle on this car is set at 800. From there, you're also going to want to go to airflow, and you're going to want to find airflow final minimum for Gen 4. Now on this car is already tuned, but most cars this is going to be a 5 to 6 range. So you're going to want to up that slightly, just like I did on the last one, probably to 7. That way it stays running and you don't have any issues like that. So those are the basics of doing a ghost cam on a Gen 3 or Gen 4 vehicle. You can mess with the enable RPM error a little bit, but I find that just doing the settings that I've showed you, it creates a pretty reasonable sounding exhaust, even with a stock camshaft. So that'll conclude that.